My name is Trevor. I'm the Chief Steward of the Hot 100 for the Adelaide Review. I'm a wine lecturer here at Regency TAFE, teaching across 3 schools. I've been involved with the Hot 100 for 5 years now as the Chief Steward, and what we've seen is an evolution of a wine show which is based on grape variety into a wine show which is all about drinkability. So what we mean by that is what we're trying to find is the wine that you would like to try with your friends and then rush out and tell everybody about. We have no preference of where it's from, what it's been made from, what are the grape varieties, anything like that, except it must reflect South Australia. So I'm all behind the scenes. I have a team of about 15 stewards dealing this year with around 1,000 wines, 1,000 entries. So each wine is sent 3 bottles in, so we're dealing with about 3,000 wines. So for 1 week we unpack, we put into all of the classes that the winemaker chooses. So each class is like, say, a white wine with purity, a light white wine with texture, fruit forward and full styles of red, or savoury and structured styles. So in the past they would have said, right, I'm putting my Cabernet blend into the Cabernet blend class. But now they can say, well, my Cabernet blend is quite a fruit forward and full style. That's where I want it to be. So it's up to the winemaker to present themselves and their wares in the class that they want. And then the stewards will unpack all the wines and sort them all into classes. And then the team of this year, 18 judges, led by James Erskine, will come along, and they're judges from all over Australia. They have different backgrounds. There can be people in journalism, whether it's print or social media. There are people that are winemakers, there are sommeliers, there are restaurant owners, restaurant managers, and all of them are working towards that goal of finding the best wine. Now, the best wine doesn't necessarily mean that the classiest, the best made, the prettiest label, how much it costs or anything, because everything is tasted blind, in the sense the wines are poured where the judges have no knowledge of what's in the bottle or what's the label, and then they'll come along, they'll know what the class is, and they will taste accordingly. It sounds a little bit cliched, but we're uniquely South Australian. This has now become a destination wine show because we're approaching it in a different direction. We're not worried about what a Shiraz or a Pinot Gris looks like. Yes, if it wins on the day, then fantastic, we'll celebrate it. But we're not looking for the best of a grape variety. We always think it's funny these days, after working with these wine shows for the last few years, when people walk up to us and start saying, well, I only really like Shiraz, I only really like Cabernet. And we wonder why, because we've been working with wines that we're looking for drinkability, how good is it to taste? And we kind of forget the enjoyment of things. We're looking for enjoyment of wine. When you're in restaurants, when you're at home cooking for other people, it's a celebration about sitting around a table and sharing food and wine together, and not worrying about what it cost or where it's from or anything. It's just like, wow, this is just so yummy. We're really, really enjoying it. It's a reflection of South Australia. It's a celebration of South Australia. South Australia's food and wine industry has always been of note. We don't necessarily live in the shadows of other people or other places or other states, but sometimes we feel that we do. And I think that's quite unnecessary, because each state, each area should be proud of what they produce. We all work towards those common goals as a reflection of Australian produce, people in the dirt, people growing things, people making things. We don't need to compare ourselves to anybody else, but it's always nice to remind people out there of what we're capable of. So the Hot 100, 1,000 wines, 18 judges, 2 days of full-on judging, 17 classes, all from different areas of South Australia, to find the final wine. Out of 1,000, we will go down to 100. From 100, we'll go down to 30. From 30, we'll find the one that we want to present to you to say, this is the wine that we all agreed upon this year was the yummiest. Hot 100, South Australia, 2013.